What's going on, guys? Supersavage 789 here, bringing you guys another video. And today we're doing What If King Piccolo Was Never Sealed, Part 4. Now, it's been a minute, so if you don't really remember what happened in the last 3 parts, go refresh yourself and then come back to this. This is my favorite series, and I'm really glad to be revisiting it. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Piccolo would arrive on Yardrat, requesting from Piccolo training, which the Yardratian is more than okay with doing, thanks to the gratitude he has towards the Namekian. So for the next year, Piccolo trains to learn spirit control. Even the initial increase from simply learning the properties of it makes Piccolo stronger by leaps and bounds. Learning how to properly wield this power would make Piccolo's Mokonko support much stronger, which is always a good thing. Piccolo also learns instant transmission, due to it being a rather simplistic technique to learn. Beyond that though, I don't think Piccolo is going to learn anything else at the moment. He's already gotten much stronger from this training. Plus, with what he's already learned, he has the building blocks to create stronger techniques on his own. If he ever needs more training, he can always come back to learn from them, so it won't be an issue. On top of that, with the spirit control techniques Piccolo showed him, Piccolo gets an idea on how he can further increase his own strength. It'll probably take a while though. So, he'd return to Namek, being greeted by the revived tambourine and drum, along with the others. Namek could be greeted by someone who resembles Frieza, being that of King Cold, with Piccolo stepping up to kill him as well. He put his new spirit control Mokonko support to use to off-guard Cold and kill him, saving Namek once again from danger. Drum mentions that it's a shame Goku isn't here. He would have loved to have a chance at a foe like that. This makes him all ponder what happened to Goku, having not heard from him since he left. Over with Goku, he's been a bounty hunter in space, where he's actually been prospering. The idea of fighting strong opponents across the galaxy has the Saiyan living a luxurious life. It feels like Piccolo betrayed him, giving up on that life, but he simply ignores those thoughts, focusing on the fun he himself is having. For the next 2 years, Goku would be making a name for himself as a Saiyan bounty hunter, getting him a lot of jobs from this. The Heaters even bring him into the fold, giving him jobs directly, which he's more than happy to oblige to. After all, he never had a vendetta against the Frieza Force, so he wouldn't really care about associating with one of their allies. Because of his presence, the other bounty hunters in the galaxy would be losing a lot of jobs due to the efficiency he does his jobs with. This wouldn't make him the most popular person and actually gets someone ticked off beyond belief. That person is of course Granola. Obviously Granola has a vendetta for the Saiyans anyway, so hearing that one is taking jobs from him would only fuel his vengeance. So in between jobs, he'd be seeking out any traces of Saiyans. One time Granola believes he's hit the jackpot, having heard of rumors of Saiyans who used to work for Frieza. After following this trail though, he finds 2 Saiyans taking down a Frieza outpost. These are Nappa and Vegeta. After Frieza and Cold fell, they decided to take the opportunity to attempt to seize parts of the Empire for themselves. They don't really get far though, as they have to encounter the Cerulean bounty hunter. Despite not being the Saiyan he was looking for, Granola still doesn't grant them mercy. The bigger of the two is quick to fall to one of his sniper bolts, due to underestimating his opponent. This leaves Vegeta as the last one left. He'd be quick to realize just how outmatched he is, as Granola identifies his weak points and exploits them, causing him to fall to the ground unable to move. In a last-ditch effort, he attempts to create a power ball, but he doesn't get the chance. So this timeline's Vegeta sadly gets snuffed out by Granola, barely qualifying himself and Nappa as a filler villain here. After continuous searching, Granola learns that the Heaters have Goku under their payroll, so he heads out to question them, demanding that they give up his identity. Alec doesn't appreciate Granola making demands, telling him that they can't just give up one of their best clients. If he wants to locate this person, he'll have to do it alone. While Granola is angered, a thought pops up in his head. Goku's chasing down bounties like crazy, so if Granola places a bounty on himself, he's sure to show up. So Granola does just that, telling the Heaters to send any bounty hunter they want after him. He'll be awaiting for the Saiyan though. He then returns back to planet Cereal to await his foe. The Heaters don't initially go through Granola's request, sending fodder after him who meet a swift end at his hand. They realize that Granola is just going to thin out their forces. If he really wants to fight Goku, they might as well let him. Besides, whoever wins is really as strong as the two, right? So Alec gives Goku the job and the Saiyan heads straight there. When Goku arrives, he begins searching the planet for Granola, keeping himself on guard as best he can. Granola sees him from afar, glad to have finally been given the chance to take him down. Upon analysis, he noticed that his vitals are all rather wide open. It appears like he's already out of breath. Odd, but maybe he's been fighting other people before he came here. Not taking him serious was his last mistake. Granola proceeds to begin sniping at Goku, which the Saiyan manages to dodge with extreme difficulty. In canon, Granola is much stronger than Goku due to the wish on the Dragon Balls, but since he hasn't used them here, they'd be much closer in strength. Despite this though, Goku can barely dodge the attacks. When Granola switches up his tactic to fight more directly, Goku would grin, telling him that this fight is going to be fun. Granola could tell, however, that he's simply putting up a facade, as he's breathing quite heavily. The duo begin fighting, with Granola pretty easily having the advantage. Goku could put up a decent fight, but in his condition, he can only do so much. After Granola lands a decent blow, Goku tumbles to his knees, clenching his chest. The Cerulean initially believes he must have landed a good hit, but Oatmeal cleans this up, telling his partner that it looks like he's having some form of internal issue. Goku grits his teeth as he mutters "damn it" under his breath, falling unconscious in front of the vengeful bounty hunter. It'd be so easy for Granola to finish him off, but he stops himself. Killing him like this wouldn't be satisfying. If he's going to kill him, then he wants to do it by his own hand, not due to some form of illness. So begrudgingly, Granola slinks him over his shoulder and flies back home. When he arrives, Monaito greets him, only to be surprised at the Saiyan over his shoulder. His surprise further increases upon seeing the iconic hairdo Goku possesses. Granola tells his Namekian father figure to help him, which he'd be more than happy to do so. Monaito begins healing Goku, but quickly learns how futile that endeavor is. He can keep him stable for now, but it's clear that he won't survive much longer due to this heart virus. Out of curiosity, he decides to read his mind, learning about everything Goku's been through so far. He's amazed to see him with other Namekians, and conveys this to Granola, who could honestly care less. When Monaito mentions that they likely can help him, Granola again doesn't care. If this is the fate of the Saiyan, then that's that. He would have preferred to have killed him himself, but as long as he's dead, he's glad. Recognizing the misplaced malice in Granola's heart, he decides to give him a surprise. After looking through his stuff, Monaito finds an old scouter, which Oatmeal is able to fix, allowing for them all to listen to the transmission from long ago. Here, Granola learns about how his anger was misplaced, and how Bardock saved him. He feels like a fool. Monaito asks Granola if he's given up on his revenge, but he simply remains silent in thought. While Bardock was better than he thought, he still hasn't fully made up his mind. He wants to find the answer for himself, and the only way to do that is to save Goku. The Dragon Balls could probably do it, but they have no means of locating the second one. Thankfully though, Monaito tells Granola about Namek, and how they do have Dragon Balls. He should go there and use theirs to help him. He agrees and heads off the planet, arriving in a couple of days. When he arrives, he's immediately greeted by Piccolo, who tells him that he's come far enough. He's taken the role of the planet's protector very seriously, so he needs to make sure anyone coming to the planet isn't there out of malice. After explaining the situation, Piccolo is more than happy to help his brother. He orders Symbol to gather the Dragon Balls while he watches over their guest, still showing some caution towards him. While they wait, Granola asks Piccolo if the Saiyan is a good person. Piccolo pauses for a moment, before telling him that none of them are. For decades they subjugated a planet to needless terror, reducing the population to thousands and torturing them for amusement. He shows Granola, however, that that's in the past. While he hasn't seen Goku in a few years, he can say that the rest of them have all changed. The past does not dictate who you are. Granola listens to these words of wisdom and internalizes them. Porunga is summoned, and they end up wishing for medicine to help Goku, which the dragon creates, having the medicine appear right next to Monaito. Granola would then leave, bidding the Namekians farewell as he returns home. When Granola returns, he sees Monaito at home, but the bed Goku is in now empty. He asks where the Saiyan is, only for the Namekian to tell him he's outside. Granola looks to see him training and approaches him cautiously. Upon sensing Granola, Goku would stop and approaches him. The duo are silent for a moment, before Goku is the first one to break it. He says that he heard everything while he was unconscious. His father really saved their asses, and now Goku has to kill him? That doesn't sound right. So why don't I go get some revenge on the Heaters? Granola asks him if he believes this act of goodwill will clear up his karma, which gets a smirk from the Saiyan. He just wants a good fight. If he'd known that Gas was as strong as he was, he would have fought him years ago. Plus, it sounds like fun to fight the guy his father stuck it to. It's only right Granola gets extended that invite though. So Granola agrees to join Goku on his crusade, and the duo head off to fight the Heaters. The duo arrive at the Heaters' main base of operations, where they storm in, being greeted by Alec with some confusion. He tells Goku that this contract is only valid for deaths, not bringing them in alive. Granola is seething with rage at this point, lunging at Alec before being blindsided by Oil, who knocks him away. This gets a chuckle out of Goku. Alec deduces that Granola must have learned the truth. Now unfortunately, he's going to have to kill him. If Goku still wants to, he's more than welcome to collect his bounty. The Saiyan declines, before turning to address Gas, asking him if he wants to help him see where he compares to his dear old dad. Gas asks permission from Alec before leaping at Goku, where the duo begin to engage in combat. Granola would be occupied fighting Oil and Maki at the same time. The duo work in unison and actually too much for the Cerulean to handle. His hand-to-hand combat isn't slacking, but he's just not enough to compare to them, so he decides to fight on his own terms. Using Oatmeal, he commands his AI friend to do something for him. As Maki lunges in at him, Granola's ship comes crashing through the wall, hitting her away and separating Granola from his opponents. They begin looking for him, only to see he's nowhere to be found. Oil begins to laugh, declaring that the coward must have ran. That's when a hole appears in his chest, causing him to collapse to the ground immediately. Maki begins looking around, afraid, as she hears Granola's voice echoing around her. Why bother with the fistfights when after all, He's a sniper. She tries to run for cover, but Granola is too quick, shooting her down as well. Back with Goku, he'd actually have the advantage at the start of the fight. His martial arts prowess is more refined than Gas's, so he's able to outmaneuvering him, landing powerful attacks. Gas creates his key construct, snickering as he believes that this will help him win. Goku just sees this as making his game more interesting. He even begins wielding one of Gas's Kia Spears, landing a slash mark across Gas's restraint unknowingly. This causes Gas to begin to grow more muscular, as well as more feral. The beast rushes at him, throwing him outside as he begins to beat down on his opponent violently. Now Goku is backed into a corner, continuing to do his best, despite how futile it is. The fight ultimately culminates in Gas punching him hard in the ribs, leaving him in a crater as he begins to ascend into the air. As he struggles to remain conscious, Goku spots Gas rolling up his fist from high up, ready to slam him back down into him. In his mind, Goku begins to curse himself at his own weakness. It feels like all his life, he's been second fiddle. He wasn't strong enough to defeat Raditz, or Piccolo, or Frieza. Somehow, someone has always been better of him, and he's sick of it. No longer will he let himself be so weak. He refuses. As Gas is inches away from Goku, his fist is caught by a figure surrounded in a golden glow. The aura becomes less violent, revealing Goku to now be stood there in Super Saiyan. After throwing Gas away, the Hito questions how this is possible. Smugly, Goku comments that Saiyans have a way of growing and evolving every time they push past their limits, purposely quoting Bardock to evoke a reaction in Gas. He begins fighting back, but at this point Goku is just too strong. He breaks Gas's arms and donkey kicks him into the air. Then he forms a ki blast in his hand, feeling as if this technique is in his blood, the final Revenger. He unleashes a ball of white energy, impacting Gas and exploding, killing him. Elec begins to panic as he watches this, before he's held by his throat from behind. Granola asks if he feels the fear of death, because he's sure that's how his mother felt, shooting Elec to the back, killing him. Goku and Granola then approach each other, with Goku asking if he wants his rematch. Granola thinks it's over, and jokingly tells the Saiyan that he'll let him live. The Saiyan reverts to his base form, telling the bounty hunter that anytime he wants a fight, to come find him. He'd be happy to test out this new form of his. The duo then part ways with a mutual rivalry forming. Over the years, the duo get the drop on each other, fighting intense battles until they're both on the brink of death, just for fun. They even compete on who can capture specific targets. But anyways guys, that's where we're going to leave off this timeline for right now. So if you guys enjoyed this part, why not hit the like button and subscribe for more? I think this part is really interesting, as in this story Piccolo is the main character, but we actually get to, leave Namek and Piccolo and all those people behind as sort of tertiary characters, and focus on Goku a bit more, which is always fun. Plus this use of the Granola arc to give Goku Super Saiyan is really cool in my opinion, and it fits the themes of the story. And if you like this part, let me tell you, you're gonna love part 5, because that also doesn't focus on Piccolo or Goku. That's right, we're going back to Earth. So if you're excited for that, hit the like button and subscribe. But anyways, yeah, bye!